Hello, this is Jesse Harris with How to Universe, and today we're going to look at an example in Python of how to count letters. So I was browsing the web and I came across this site on Grammarly about how many F's do you see? So you look at this sentence and their example sentence had a couple of the words of, and when we read this in English we say, oh well, it's finished files, there's a couple F's there, and we skip right over of. However, a computer does not understand English, so we can use it to count the F's. And so I was thinking, well, let's do that. Let's have it count the F's. And instantly a couple ways popped into my mind. The first thing I was thinking is, well, we could use a regular expression. You know, we have to count uppercase and lowercase F's, but that's kind of overkill for what we're doing here. So what I want to look at is a quick program here that could do this for us. So I've got a variable set with our example sentence. And then I've got a placeholder variable here, just how many we've counted, set to 0 just so we have something. And here's our output print statement. Number of F's is the count. So not knowing Python, just coming in here, being familiar with programming in general, a more generic answer would be something like this using a for loop. So we would take each letter in the string, the for letter in example, and we would compare each letter individually, whether they are capital F or lowercase f. If there's a match, then we increment f count by 1. So we'll start at 0 and we'll go up from there. And if we Control-Shift-E execute this, then we'll see we get 6, which is the number that is correct based on the source and just looking at it. We've got 2 F's here, 1 in each one of these ofs, 1 in scientific study, and 1 in the last of here. So that matches, and it even counts the first F. So it's fairly generic. It's not too hard to read if you're familiar with writing code, but in Python there are some simpler ways to do it. So rather than starting at 0 and incrementing piece by piece, we can just use the count method on our string. So we can count the number of F's. And if we run this file here, we'll get 5. And if we count for capital F's, save, Control-Shift-D is 1. So okay, well this is great. We can just cut and paste, put these together, and come up with 6. And this reads pretty good too. I like this. It's definitely better than a regular expression, and it's somewhat, somewhat intuitive in what's going on. But one thing I think is maybe better is this version here. And so what we do is we take the example sentence. We get a lowercase version of it. That is, all the letters become lowercase. Whether they're capital or lowercase, they're now lowercase. And so this, in our mind, we're thinking, okay, this string now is in memory, and it's floating there, and it has all lowercase, and then we're going to go through and we're going to count all the F's in it, and put that value, assign it into this variable here, and then we have 6. So I think this is probably the most concise and most Pythonic way to do it. However, the other last two ways previous to this are fair as well, and they may scale. You know, this is great if you're counting one letter, capitals and lowercase. If you wanted to do maybe all the vowels, or you wanted to do F and G or something like that, then you definitely would have to expand past this into something else. Maybe something like this for F, and then you add something for G. So depending on which direction you're going, one of these, is going to work better for you than the others. And if you want to get into more complex logic, then definitely explore regular expressions. But for this example, I think I'm going to stick with this. That's all. Have a great day.